Good evening. I call the Maplewood City Council work session to order on Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. Mr. Reese, would you please conduct a roll call?
Councilmember Crossley.
Here.
Councilmember Falkingham.
Here.
Mayor Knapper.
Here.
Councilmember Page.
Here.
Councilmember Phillips.
Here.
Councilmember Schmidt.
Here.
Councilmember Wood.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
All right, thank you. And there is no need to excuse a council member, so I will move on to item number 4. At this time, applicants who submitted an application to serve as a volunteer for Maplewood City Board or Commission, they are invited to speak on their own behalf regarding why they should be appointed. Mr. Reese, would you please list the boards and commissions that currently have vacancies?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We have the Human Services Commission with 9 vacancies, the Sustainability Commission with 2 vacancies, the Special Business District with 2 vacancies, the Parks and Recreation Board with 2 vacancies, and the Library Board with 1 vacancy.
Thank you. All right, so if you submitted an application to serve on any of those boards or commissions, if you would like to speak for yourself, you are welcome to do so at this time. Please raise the Zoom hand and Mr. Reese will call upon you.
Mr. Korea, welcome.
Hi, can you folks hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm number 1. Thank you. Time to get back to dinner. So hi, my name is Joshua Korea, and I've applied just most recently to become a member of the Human Services Commission. As a resident of Maplewood, I'm invested in the health and well-being of our community, just as I'm invested in pursuing the equity in all things among all of our residents in our community. My experience as a volunteer for the Arch City Defenders Fatal State Violence Program, which is in my application, a little bit more information about that, and a link to that volunteer program, aligns with the initiative set forth by the City Council's Human Services Commission, focusing on finding and directing services and resources to residents in need, ranging from financial aid to food insecurity, mental health, childcare, legal assistance, housing, and many other aspects. I see the creation of the Human Services Commission as one that acts as the basis of well-being and not that of force and punishment in our community. Instead of penalizing residents, we have a responsibility to lift them up, and the Commission has the potential to do just that, and as such, I'd like to be a member of that Commission. I also view the Commission's mission as one that creates connections between and among place-based institutions and programs in order to provide assistance and resources to our residents, many of which all of you already know exist. Artists First, Grab and Go, Maple Good, our wonderful school district, our parks, and various churches within the community. I also view the Commission as an opportunity to focus attention on Maplewood as a community that places emphasis on street-level interaction and participation of its government and its residents.
Mr. Korea, could you please wrap it up? Your 90 seconds have elapsed.
All right, so my last question is, how can Maplewood become known as more than a municipality of unique and thriving businesses and one of volunteerism, activism, and engagement? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Reese, do we have anyone else?
Yes, Ms. Jones.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
I am Ms. Shayna Jones, and I am the CEO and founder of Keep Pushing Inc., which was founded right here in Maplewood. And I have submitted an application to be a part of this great committee because of one thing I have had firsthand action with our neighbors in the community to hear and see what the need is and what the outcry is in Maplewood. I believe with this Human Service Committee, we will be able to bring in more resource as far as things that we have already have inside of Maplewood. We will not have to go outside Maplewood because we do have great resources right here in the city of Maplewood. And I just believe being part of this human service, we will be able to activate those resources that we have. We have enormous of different things that I feel like the city could benefit, could also have access to. And by having one of the largest nonprofit Salvation Army in our city, I believe that we will be able to open up to our neighbors and be able to simplify and give them the resources that they need, and also be able to support the city when they have questions about what do we need to do about things as far as like the unhoused, or as far as people are falling behind in rent, or where do we need to call for utility assistance and stuff like that. I believe this committee will be able to step in the gap and stand in the gap to help our neighbors. And we won't have to go further outsource because we are bringing strong people right here within the city of Maplewood.
Ms.
So
Jones, your time is up.
thank you.
Thank you.
At this point, Mayor Knapper, I'm seeing no more hands raised.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Reese. I just want to let everyone know, if you did not present on your behalf, that's okay. That's not going to be held against anyone. We have your applications, and I think everyone has done a good job explaining why they would like to serve the city of Maplewood. So just wanted to let you all know that I am not giving anyone any more weight simply because they were able to participate right now. So, all right. Mr. Reese, I think we are on item 5 now.
Correct.
Council questions to applicants. Oh, Mr. Rubin would like, I think, hold on.
Yeah, he just
Oh.
wrote in the chat.
Okay.
Difficulty.
Thank you, Mr. Rubin. Okay, so at this time, and this is to my colleagues on council, if you have any questions for the applicants, you are welcome to ask them.
I did have one question that I wanted to ask Ms. Jones. I just wanted to make sure, because I didn't know this when I ran, but when if you are on the council, which I know she's running for council, she can't be on a board and commission as well. Can't do both. So I just wanted to make, because like I say, when I ran, I didn't know that. I had to resign when I was elected. So just wanted to let her know that.
I don't see her. I don't see her on the attendee list anymore. But thank you, Councilman.
So I have some questions. I know some of the people aren't on, and I didn't know if it was easier to do them when we do a particular commission or not, but I assume we're doing the Human Services Commission first, or are we going in the order of that list that was on our sheet?
I don't have any format. It's kind of, it's very,
Okay.
So
I guess a general question I had, that the Human Services Commission has 2 ex officio members, and what's the process for those people being put on the board? Has that been determined?
well, yes, I am going to allow Acting Chief Nyber and
Okay.
Superintendent Dr. Jameson to.
Okay, so they're gonna,
Yeah.
okay. And so Dr. Loyette is simply applying for this in her resident capacity then, okay.
Yes.
I had, I guess, a question about the doctor that applied, and I don't think he's on. I don't know if anyone will know the answer, but I was just curious about it looked like he had passed, well, I couldn't quite tell if he's currently practicing emergency medicine still or not, but he had a past in emergency medicine. And then it appears that he has like a concierge medical service. So I was kind of curious what that was. Does anyone know?
Like the definition of what concierge medical service is?
No, like, is that what his practice is? Because
Oh.
I guess to me, when I looked it up, it's like a service that costs $100 a month for adults and 50 for kids. And I guess I was just having a little trouble. Like, I know in the emergency medical, like in emergency care, you learn a lot about shortcomings in our healthcare system, but that I thought like running a concierge business seemed to sort of like not fit within the mission of this board. So I was curious what his, like how he sort of could explain that. But no one, I don't know him, so I didn't know if anyone else knew him.
Mm-mm.
No, okay.
And forgive me, Councilmember, which individual are you talking about?
Jeffrey Davis.
Thank you.
No. All right. For sustainability, I guess if we're just asking all our questions now, for sustainability, the ordinance currently, and this is probably a question for you, Attorney Graves, the ordinance currently says that I think we're still short a person who works for a Maplewood business. And I would assume we need to honor that ordinance until we would change it. Right?
Yes, technically you should follow what's
Yeah.
currently as written.
So one of the people we have to appoint then for sustainability would be someone who works for a Maplewood business.
Just one of them, is that correct, though? Just
Yeah,
one.
I think it's just one, right?
Okay,
That is correct.
okay.
That's all the questions I had. I don't know if anyone else.
Are you all able to hear?
Are you there, Mayor?
Are you all able to hear me?
Now,
You were breaking
Okay.
up a little bit.
Am I still breaking up?
I'm
No.
good.
Okay, thank you. All right. Does anyone else have any questions for applicants? Or two applicants, rather? All right, seeing none, I'm going to move on to item 6. Review and discuss applications for boards and commissions and make recommendations for appointment to the mayor.
I'll start if no one has any issues with that. I think the human services one is pretty straightforward. 9 people, 9 vacancies. I liked Tiffany Jones's application for sustainability. I think that's something that I think she's someone that we've considered before. And I'm just going to kind of run through some of my recommendations. I like Eliza Coriel for Special Business District. I think Crow's Nest in particular as a business has proven itself to like be really committed to Maplewood. And I thought that she could be an insightful voice in that. And for library board, I think Kristen Spencer's background could be beneficial for that particular board. So those are my main recommendations. I'd be curious to hear from others for Parks and Rec, just for like more insight that other folks may have. So right now I don't have any specific recommendations, but wanted to have some, hear from others about what they were thinking for Parks and Rec.
I would like to recommend Laurie Mecklevane for Parks and Rec. I think she's really qualified, and she does have a child that's handicapped and also a disabled child, but also she's had experience in design, indoors and even outdoor spaces. So I think she'd be a really good fit for that. That was the one that I really felt would be really good.
That's who I had as well, as my top choice for Parks and Rec. Would it helpful if we go through these one by one, or should we all just, not the people, the boards?
The board.
Yeah.
Like start with the library.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Start with
Yeah.
one and then, I don't know.
That's kind of how I did my work, so
Yeah.
it would be easier for me. For the library board, I also like Kristen Spencer. I think she was the best candidate as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, I would echo that as well. She has, I think, shown over and over again her commitment to serving Maplewood. She applied last fall of 2020, and I think the only reason we didn't appoint her is that the other candidate had a library science degree. So as a social worker and someone who seems to have worked with seniors a lot, I think she would be a great asset for the library. And it seems like she's served on a lot of boards already, so would have experience doing that. So I would agree with.
Did she run for council at one point in time?
Against me, yes. She and I ran against.
Hey, I remember reading that or thinking, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And she's currently serving on the zoning ordinance review committee as well. So so I would second or third that nomination for Kristen Spencer. I have a question regarding Tiffany Jones' application, because her first application back in 2020 had sustainability, but her more recent application has, SBD.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't sure, do we have a preference from her? Because I had actually thought that she would be a great fit for the SBD, since that was her more recent.
I think that's what she's applying for.
Okay.
And I had her as for SBD as well.
Yeah, I did too. I thought she should be in one or the other, if she wanted. I didn't know which one, because it looked like she chose that as a number one on, sustainability and SBD were both listed as one. So I don't know which one she really wants, but I think she should have one of them.
I just made the assumption if someone had more than one application that their newest one reflected their
Well,
preference.
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Did anyone else have anything for library? No. So should we do SBD then, since we moved to that one?
Yeah.
I also thought Miss Coriel was a strong candidate too. I thought that was a very wonderful letter of recommendation that was written for her. And so I think that really showed her interest level as well in doing this. And I also like Miss Jones because I think her business is not quite like in that main drag, or it's a little, it's just sort of, and just it's sort of a different kind of business too. So I thought she'd be an excellent candidate as well.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well, that someone from the eastern end of the business district would definitely bring a great perspective.
Yeah, I agree. I thought she would be my second candidate as well.
And I guess just to be clear, I do agree that Eliza Coriel from Crow's Nest would be a good choice for SBD. So for the reasons already stated.
Second that.
Anyone else? No? Guess we'll go sustainability. That sound good?
Yeah, so just like a quick question on that. Of the 3 applicants we have who put that for their first choice, is Brad Jackson the only one that's associated with the business? Because I think that helps clarify things as well.
And I think one person is no longer, they put their application on pause. So I think we only had 2 people who had it as number 1 as their first choice.
Is Madison Goodwin one of the ones you're thinking of? Yeah. And then Brad Jackson and then Tiffany, but we already think she's going to be on the SBD. So, I mean, that's what we would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend Brad. I've worked with him a little bit through Scouts. He's a thoughtful guy.
Yeah, I thought both candidates seemed interested in doing it. And so I didn't see any concerns with either one.
No, I agree. I thought they would both be fine.
Anyone else? Oh,
I don't know Ms. Goodman, but just looking up people on Facebook, et cetera, to see if I knew anyone who did know them. She appears to be a young person, so that would add some additional diversity into that board with a younger perspective, and potentially she might even be a renter as well. So based on her address. So again, different perspective, I thought.
yeah. All right. Parks and Rec. I think a lot of people already expressed Miss Mecklevane. I also thought Miss Smith, I thought it was interesting. She had a background in planning events and festivals. I don't know. I thought with our parks, that might be an interesting perspective, but I don't know.
I couldn't find her resume for some reason. I looked, for it, and for some reason I couldn't. So I didn't have any information, but I mean, that sounds fine to me.
I was going to say, I can forward it to you, Karen. Let me.
Okay, yeah, I looked. It was the only one I couldn't find, so I don't know what happened. It was a
She's
long.
also, sorry, she's also currently serving on our zoning committee review. So again, someone who's already shown her commitment to Maplewood.
No, good. That sounds good.
I think her application was part of the emails that were lost.
Okay.
So mine are like in a separate folder in my email instead of like my general inbox.
Oh, that maybe.
And I just forwarded it to
Why
you.
I couldn't find it.
Councilmember Phillips very kindly just forwarded them to me. Sorry, Councilmember Phillips.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yes, thank you
for having a Gmail.
Yeah.
We can thank Gmail.
I'll just go ahead and second that what's been said about Laurie and Angela. I'm on board with them.
Yep, I also agree.
Anybody else? All right, we're moving through these humans. I think the last is Human Services Commission, which I think as Councilmember Crossley identified, there were 9 applicants. I thought, I just had that. I did have that one question about the doctor. I thought that was an interesting sort of, I don't know. But everyone seems very qualified, very passionate about serving. And so I didn't have any questions other than that one.
Well, what about if we appoint Shannon Jones and she gets elected, then she has to come off. So
I think then you would just in the summer when they are, or if you do like a,
whenever, yeah, she'd have to come off. So we'd have to appoint somebody else or just wait, I guess, until.
And I guess theoretically, the way this is set up, don't you have to stagger people anyway? So like some people are gonna be appointed and then have to do it again in June or something. And so, I mean, I think you're gonna have this anyway.
So if she's appointed now, she would have to be off in April. So that's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Two things that I wanted to cover with you all. First is, do you see Serena Mukunda as one of the applicants for the Human Services Commission? Okay, so I reached out to her because once the commission was formed, she told me that she was interested in that. And that was after she had submitted her application. And so she would like to be considered for that commission as well. So I wanted to let you all know that. And then I believe Miss Laurie Mecklevane I believe her application is on pause. I'll double check with her though, because when I contacted her last time, she was working on like solely focusing on her business because she has her own business.
okay.
So I think we have an application from Serena from 5/24. But I think that was before Human Services Commission. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add? All right, thank you all. I appreciate your comments and feedback. I will take everything that you have presented to me under consideration when I look at the applicants to make my decision on who I will appoint to the vacancies that we have for the boards and commissions. And you are welcome to reach out to me if you'd like to discuss anyone further. All right. May I have a motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, thank you. We're adjourned. I'll see you all at 7:30.
Thanks, Mayor.
Yeah.
Thanks all.
Thanks, Mayor.
All right, thanks.